Hello and welcome to Homebrew EDH, where I take you through my personal commander decks, how they work, and how they win. This episode is the third and final part of the Strixhaven Stretch, a three-part series where I did the first three brand new Strixhaven commanders that I built. This episode is Galazeth Prismari, the Elder Dragon from the Prismari campus. He costs 2 blue and a red, so Izzet, for a 3/4 Elder Dragon with flying. When he enters the battlefield, create a treasure token. He also has a static ability that reads, artifacts you control have tap, add 1 mana of any color. Spend this mana only to cast an instant or sorcery spell. Now most people would take this deck and abuse artifacts and tapping and untapping. I took it in a completely new direction with big spells, big damage, and dragons. So with that, let's get into it. Whoa, hold on. Disclaimer. There's dragons in this deck and big explodey things. If I sound really fast, it's because I'm excited. Because Winter Dragon's not awesome. That's why M19 was great, and Legends was great, and any set that released dragons, the whole Tarkir thing was awesome. Anyway, I love dragons. Let's get back to the video. Okay, you guys, so with the way I took this deck, with the damage and the dragons and everything, you're going to need a way to play those dragons early in the game so you can get your damage in and win. We've got Seize the Spoils, which we can discard a card, draw 2 cards, create treasure tokens. Really good card in this deck, Stormkiln Artist. Gets +1/+0 for each artifact we control, and has Magecraft. Whenever we cast or copy an instant or sorcery, we can create more treasures. More treasures means more mana. More mana means bigger things are going to happen. Now let's get to that group damage. Electrostatic Field. Cast a spell. 1 damage to everybody. Where Ancients treads, that's important because the big dragons are generally 5 or bigger. More damage. We've got Pyromancer's Assault. An enchantment whenever you cast your second spell each turn. Deals 2 damage to target creature or player. And Gutter Snipe. Cast a spell, 2 damage to everybody. Now we get to the really big spells, like Overflowing Insight. We can draw 7 cards. Creative Outburst. Deal 5 to any target. Look at the top 5, 1 into hand, rest on the bottom. Or pay 2, discard it, create a treasure. Rise from the Tides. With all these spells slinging around, we're going to have a ton in the graveyard. Cast this at the opportune moment, get a bunch of zombies. We've got Urza's Rage. For 12 mana kicked, 10 damage to anything, and it can't be stopped. Culmination of Studies could be a potential one-sided wipe for the game if you get enough mana into it and have enough cards left. Exile the top X cards, however much you pay, -2. Each land card gets you a treasure. Each blue card draws you a card. Each red card does 1 damage to each opponent. With all those big spells, we get Draconic Intervention. 2 red. As an additional cost, exile instant or sorcery from your graveyard. Deals X damage to each non-dragon creature, where X is the exiled card's mana value. If a creature is dealt damage this way, would die this turn, exile it instead, and you would exile this spell just like that. And with that, let's get to the dragons, my favorite part of this entire deck. To help us out, Rapacious Dragon creates us treasures. Windstorm Drake buffs our other flying creatures. Phantasmal Dragon, just a good card. Dragonlord Servant reduces the cost. Lightning Shrieker, haste, bam, shuffle it in. Enigma Drake gets really big with all the spells. Crackling Drake gets even bigger because it counts exile. And when it enters, we draw cards. And my favorite dragon of all time, at least that's one color that isn't an Elder Dragon, my Scourge of the Throne. Extra combat steps. Dethrone. It just keeps getting better. This is fun. With those out of the way, let's get to the value portion of the deck. With cards like Multiple Choice. Pay 5 total mana, and you get to do all the things. Scry 1, draw a card. Balance a creature. Create a 4/4. Solve the equation, 3 mana sorcery, instant or sorcery tutor. Nazari, which lets us exile and play the top cards of our opponent's libraries. Spectacle Mage reduces those giant spell costs by 1, if they're 5 or more. Teach by Example is a spell copier. Tempted by the Auric is a mana value 3 or less mind control. Expressive Iteration, look at the top 3. One goes to hand, one goes to bottom, and one gets exiled. We could play the exiled one. And Fervent Mastery is a 5 mana tutor for 3 cards. Put them into our hand, and then discard 3 at random. Could be really good, could be really bad. Just depends on your luck or a roll of the dice. So with that, my friends, wraps up the key cards of the Galazeth Prismari deck. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and leave a like, consider subscribing. It's free, you can always change your mind later. If you have ideas you'd like to see me built, leave a comment below. I read them all. As always, the deck list will be in the description with all the cards I did not include in this video. And until I see you guys in the next one, take it easy and enjoy your stay.